So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest.
Folks, you won't believe what just exploded inside the House Oversight Committee. Representative Pete Stauber, a man who spent 23 years wearing the badge, completely took the gloves off against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. We're talking about a police precinct burned to the ground. We're talking about law enforcement being labeled Gestapo. And then things turn very personal. Stauber goes straight for the jugular, accusing the governor of stolen Valor right to his face. And he doesn't come empty-handed. He brings receipts. If you care about truth, service and law and order, you need to see this for yourself. Let's roll the tape.
Thank you very much, Governor Walz. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I ask you to keep your remarks brief. I got a lot to go through. As you know, I spent 23 years as a law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota. You know that, right? Do you know that, yes or no?
I don't know how many.
It's not a trick question.
I don't know.
I'll answer it for you. 23 years in Duluth.
Thank you for that.
So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right? As I watched lawlessness devastate Los Angeles this past week, I was reminded of your failure to protect Minnesota from similar riots. Governor Walz, on May 29th of 2020, during your own press conference, you described your response to the riots during the 2020 Summer of Love as, quote, an abject failure. Governor, I couldn't agree with you more.
That's out of context.
And on May 17th, 2025, you were at the law school, graduating Minnesota Law School, talking to the graduates. And we've talked about this. You called the enforcement of illegal immigrants a modern-day Gestapo. You've been asked 3-4 times if you would rescind that, and you won't. Will you rescind it? This is like the 5th time, yes or no?
Congressman, I was talking to law students about due process, and I said you took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally, arrested in Minneapolis last year? Yes, there was. Were there 3 illegal child predators arrested by ICE in St. Paul earlier this year?
I certainly hope so. That's their job.
Yes, there was. Are the officers who arrested the al-Shabaab terrorists or the child predators, are they Nazis or the Gestapo?
The tactics of wearing
They're
masks,
not.
The tactics of wearing masks.
Unidentified. Why did you tell us that they were the Gestapo? Do you believe that any of the violent illegal immigrants I have mentioned have a right to be in this country?
I don't know what their immigration status was.
They're illegal, violent criminals that ICE took off the streets of Minneapolis.
You did not say, Congressman, what their status was.
Governor, last week, law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota took 900 pounds of meth off the streets. Do you support that?
We certainly do.
Do you know that ICE assisted in that those arrests and investigations? Do you support the assistance of ICE in that enforcement action? Yes or no?
I can't speak to that because we were not included in the briefing.
You don't know if ICE was part of it? I'm telling you they were.
I don't have that data. I would have to trust you.
Will you apologize to our constituents and law enforcement officers for making them and their families less safe with your incendiary actions?
I'll congratulate them that they helped us work on the largest pension bill for Minnesota law enforcement in 30 years.
Claiming my time. Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years I carried...
No. What weapons did you carry in war.
What did you carry?
What did... I
You
tell you
know I
what, Governor,
misspoke.
you're
You know I
barking down the
misspoke.
wrong tree, okay?
You know I
You
misspoke.
lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war.
Mr.
That
Chairman.
is stolen valor. You
My-
know what? My wife
Yeah,
served 25,
Mr. Chairman,
24 years
I
in the
reckon-
a little bit of
military,
respect for the
and
witness.
she's an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I mean?
She was
Mr.
over in the
Hectoring is not-
war
not-
zone. That's
On a point
stolen
of-
valor, and I'm so
point of order,
disgusted with
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
And so are the people that you serve
Point
with.
of order.
Point of order.
That's
Halt,
stolen
just a
valor.
minute. Stay.
Stolen valor.
Mr.
You didn't
Chairman,
carry weapons
that's
in
not questionable.
war.
Witness.
Congressman, my 24 years was
That's not
public for
You
many, many
apologize
years.
for lying.
Objection.
You apologize for lying.
Objection.
All right. Hold on. Pause.
That's not questioning a witness. That's not questioning a witness. You think
Point of
so,
order.
huh?
State your point, Mr. Eckerman.
No, you're
State
yelling
your
at
point.
him.
There you go.
You're hectoring. You're hectoring.
All right.
You're hectoring.
State your-
Governor,
That's-
you didn't carry
that's
weapons
not-
in war, did you?
State your point.
You didn't
Proceed.
carry
You
weapons
got
in war,
24 seconds.
did you?
Congressman, you
You
know I
didn't carry
misspoke.
weapons in war, yes or no? You lied. Governor, what rank did you retire at?
I
What rank
served,
did you retire at?
Congressman, I served my battalion as the command sergeant
That's
major.
not the
and
question
for
I asked.
pay,
What rank did you retire at?
I retired as a master sergeant in
Okay,
EA.
here's your coin that says you're retired at a command sergeant major. That's
It says
your
I wore
challenge
that.
point.
It
This
says
is-
I wore the rank.
This is that's right. You didn't retire, did you?
I did
Stolen
retire
valor.
after 24 years.
Here is a picture of your coin, your challenge
That's
coin.
right.
I'm disgusted with you. I'm just.
Mr.
Governor,
Chairman, the
you
time
lie
is
when the
expired.
truth-
Congressman,
you lie when the
I'm
truth
Gentleman's
is
time
better.
expired.
You called half Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, and you know what? That's why the Minnesota Police and Peace Association did not support you in the last election.
Well, I
You're missing
support
in
them.
action.
Gentleman's time expired.
On behalf of the folks from the land of rocks and cows, thank you. Now you go back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Tenney from New York.
I honestly don't know how Governor Walz managed to sit through that exchange without sinking into his chair. Representative Pete Stauber didn't just question him, he dismantled him piece by piece right from the start. The contrast was obvious. Stauber served 23 years as a police officer in Duluth, 23 years on the street, and the governor of that very same state brushed it off with "I don't know your background, give me a break." That dismissive attitude set the tone and showed just how disconnected Walz is from the men and women in blue. Then Stauber pulled out the photo, the 3rd precinct burning to the ground, an image burned into everyone's memory from 2020. He asked a simple question: was this a peaceful protest? Watching Walz try to dance around that was painful. That wasn't a protest, it was a riot, it was a surrender, and Stauber hit him with Walz's own words: abject failure. Walz tried to claim it was taken out of context, but let's be honest, when a police station burns down on your watch, failure is the only word that fits. What really crossed the line was learning that Walz had compared ICE agents and law enforcement to a modern-day Gestapo. Think about that. These are the people taking violent criminals, terrorists, and child predators off the streets, and the governor compares them to Nazis. Stauber gave him chance after chance, 5 times to apologize or take it back. Walz refused every single time. That tells you everything you need to know about his respect for the badge. But the moment that changed everything, the absolute nuke, was the stolen valor accusation. This is where Stauber, whose wife is an Iraq war veteran, drew a hard line. Walz has claimed he carried weapons in war, but as Stauber pointed out, Walz never deployed to a combat zone. You don't get to claim combat status if you weren't there. That's an insult to every service member who actually faced enemy fire. And then came the challenge coin. Did you catch that? Stauber held up the coin Walz handed out, claiming he retired as a command sergeant major when he didn't. He retired as a master sergeant because he never completed the requirements, using a rank you didn't earn to boost a political career. That's the very definition of stolen valor. Pete Stauber showed us what real accountability looks like. He didn't let Walz spin, he didn't let him deflect, he called out the lies straight to his face. We need more leaders like that, leaders willing to speak the truth even when it gets uncomfortable. What do you think? Did Walz get exposed, or what? Drop your thoughts in the comments. White down, pointing backhand, index fire.